Hello there, Dr. Patterson Stark, and I'd like to talk to you about your health and basically what's going on in your universe and my universe. I've been a doctor for 40 years, chiropractor, nutritionist, kinesiologist, endocrinologist, lifestyle medicine specialist. And in that, I've had to take care of myself because 30 years ago I was pretty sick and not really expected to live long. And so I took off around the world and spent 16 years looking at what would keep me above ground. Pretty simple goals. And I restudied a lot of things that I thought I knew and kind of came to the conclusion that this lifestyle has the biggest influence of anything in the box, okay? And if you go to the front page of any journal in cardiology and cancer and arthritis and autoimmune disorders, they say that lifestyle is the most significant factor. But then they don't tell you what to do about it, okay? They said, well, eat a healthy diet and get some exercise. It's not that specific. Since that time, science has evolved and evolved and evolved, and we now know things that were just absolutely science fiction even 5 years ago. One of the things that I knew for 40 years was about therapeutic fasting, but I didn't have the science behind it. And nobody was really putting their neck out there and trying it out and running large group studies and had a lot of experience at it, with the exception of a few people. Dr. Shelton, a chiropractor down in Texas, and a few others. But in that time, we have evolved a referendum of healthcare, basically. We know now that there are specific genes in your body that only get turned on through extreme hardships, and that they've been with us in one form or another on this planet for about 2.5 billion years. We've inherited these genes from yeast through bacteria into our bodies, and they're making up a very significant portion of how our body has an ability to fight inflammation, which is the root cause of all disease, if you didn't know that. Has the ability to make anti-cancer compounds, has the ability to improve your body's immune system up to tenfold, has the ability to improve your body's stem cell production up to 20-fold. Pretty powerful stuff. We don't have any drugs that can do that, by the way. And this therapeutic fasting that invokes this is a luxury now. We have to be educated to know how to do this. Our ancestors, 200, 300, 500, 10,000 generations ago, were not being fed as often as they were eating. Or, they had periods of famine. Matter of fact, in Northern Europe, over the last 2,000 years, there have been 2,000 documented famines in which anywhere from, the 15, 20, 30% of the population perished. All right. So this is in our genes on how we survive. We are very unique as biological organisms. You fast a rat for 3 days, it'll lose 20% of its body weight and not make it probably a third or fourth day. Okay. It's very harsh. We have an adaptive mechanism that's allowed us to survive. We can go for 2 days, 4 days, 5 days, 10 days, 20 days. And in the biblical sense, we can make it 40 days. And in its hardship, yes, it is, but it evokes a genetic response that is part of our DNA. It's part of our ability to improve ourselves and become very, very efficient. And after 40 years of doing this stuff and doing my own personal fasting, doing this program of taking groups of people through a 6-day program of 3 days of water fasting and 3 days of reintegrating a diet, I've seen remarkable things that have never, ever been reproduced on a hands-on or in a medical that I've seen. So what I'd like to do is propose that on every quarter that I'm running these things, look onto our website, take a look at what the next fast is that's coming up, and join our group. It's in a Zoom type atmosphere where there's 20, 30, 40 people on the course, and we all get to be friends. We take a half hour every day for 7 days. First day is just an introduction, and that's the day we stop eating that night after dinner. Nice civilized, so that the whole night we go through. We stop on a Thursday night eating after dinner. And on Sunday evening, we start again, and I tell you exactly what to eat, so forth, and I tell you the science behind it, so you'll know about intermittent fasting, you know about prolonged fasting, you know about time-restricted feeding, and how to use these tools in your environment to stay away from the diseases that are claiming 8 out of 10 lives. Okay, there's a good chance this will cut those risks that you're going to be in the rest of your life in half, or by 80%. That's what the research is showing. So a whole foods plant-based diet in conjunction with a little bit of fasting now and then, be it 1 day a week or 1 day a month or 3 days a quarter or 5 days a year, whatever you decide works for you, you'll have the science and understanding to know that it's going to probably get you an extra 5 or 10 years of good quality living in your life without having to go through the rigors of being a cardiac cripple or a cancer survivor or reliant upon 5 or 6 or 7 drugs that cut you off from your real world. And that's the travesty here, okay? You have to be lucid and in your environment fully functional and vibrant. This is one of those tools that'll allow you to do that. And the number one thing that people comment on after doing this fast, on about day 4 or day 5 of the program, they go, I have never been sharper. I've never been clearer. I've never been happier. My body feels great. My energy is good. And if that's all there is to it, I think you'll want to enjoy and come along for the ride. So look at our website. Come into the program, and I look forward to meeting you. Everybody that does this program, by the way, has to be medically cleared by me to make sure that there's no contraindications to you doing a fast like this, because there are some dangers, particularly with the amount of medication and pre-existing conditions that are in their world. So we have to be very careful. But I want you to understand that this, to me, is one of the most significant things that you can do to recoup your health and get you started on a journey that has some very beneficial and fun outcomes, okay? Hope you're going to be empowered by this. I look forward to meeting you. Bye-bye.